The Hollywood Actor Podcast with Nadège August, Part 3.
That's why I like to use the word conversation. It's hard. You really have to be careful not to be judgmental, right?
Yes. But that comes with the empathy. There was a saying that Ron Burrus at Stella Adler I keep coming back to with awareness without judgment.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's kind of what we're talking to is we want to be as aware as possible because we're in an age.
Jamie, you just went full circle on me, which is beautiful. Perfect example, like with the character Joan and Ruthless. Most actors, I used to do it too when you're in the beginning. When you read something, you're like, I would never do that. Or you judge your character. What a stupid person, like Joan and Ruthless. What an idiot. Like, how the hell? You're so smart. You're supposed to be this mathematician genius type of person, and you end up in a cult and you can't get out. What's wrong with you, you idiot? I mean,
at first glance, yeah, of course you think that, right?
Yeah. But then, as he said, awareness. But you have to be an objective observer. And that's when the empathy kicks in. I accept that I somehow ended up in a cult. And this somehow was not the idea as to how I ended up there was not provided to me in the scripts. We don't know. So my guess was what I had to work on. And had I been judgmental, I think, about her life choices, I probably would not have gotten the job. So that's the biggest acting advice I would give. Stop judging your material. Just stop judging it. You know what? If you get writing that you just consider poor and beneath you, it's okay to say no to it. But how about take away the judgment and just accept. This is what I say. This is what I do. This is what this character does and says. Just because the idea is not to be you anyway.
All right.
I always said if I wanted to play me, I'd do a reality show, but you won't. And it's also and it's also a little frustrating it used to be frustrating to my agents. They see clips of all the different roles I've played. They look at my reels and all these different things. And literally I had one crude, put it really crudely to me. They're like, I don't know what to do with you, man. It's like, throwing shit on a wall and seeing where it sticks. You do so many things. And I said, well, not only do I shouldn't be put in a box, but as an actor, that's the joy. The joy is to I'm never going to be just a hot girlfriend all the time. I can be a drug addict, someone who abuses her children or all of the possibilities are within me and within us. And the fact that there was a time, and I don't know if the industry still does that, they insist on you having a brand. Oh my gosh, those branding classes drive me crazy. I personally don't see it. I don't buy it. I don't need it. I don't see it as an actor. I shouldn't have to be just that one thing. But if that's what you want to do, that's okay too. If you always want to be, I don't know, what are some stock characters that some people get to play and they stick with? I can't think of one right now. But if you always just want to be, young mom, then great. Just do that and master that.
Yeah. Yeah, hot girl or a little homely best friend or the girl next door who, I didn't know she was attractive until the end of the film.
Yeah. And that's okay too if that's all you want. But for me, the joy is, why not try all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I may not always get all of them, but why not try?
Well, it's like our job is to try to find the yeses, try to make yeses out of no's. Squeeze
Absolutely.
Lemons into lemonade. We're trying to find our way through, and you're doing that by reaching out to people that you have questions about, and you're trying to become more aware about their life experiences. And then who can blame you trying to take those experiences and trying to express them? Because through that is a sort of therapy, is a sort of humanity. I think. And it's something that we are trying to find as artists, even though it is a very restrictive career in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that we can't keep asking questions, that we can't, when someone says no, say yes, and finding a yes somewhere.
And art is about question, ultimately. Art is about, especially with what we do, what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? That's how you get your imagination going, too. Think about it.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I love that. Your impetus for your podcast is very similar to my impetus with my podcast, because I just wanted to talk to working class actors and, yes, find out how they were navigating the world in a very timely manner, because our world is everybody's world is shifting from day to day. I mean, COVID just compounds it, but it was happening before. Part of my introduction to the Hollywood Actor Podcast is asking about these fragmented times and having conversations with people, finding their ways through anyway.
Mm-hmm. And what I love about your podcast too, it's very specific. It has its audience, but also it's of service to that audience.
I'd like to think so. You think so?
Absolutely. Every actor, as we listen to each other's journeys, although they're vastly different, again, what else is possible? We see all the possibilities. Like you had someone from Kansas, Chris
Bilsma.
Yeah. And he, who'd have thought, right? From Kansas City, Kansas, and how he came to it. He's not someone who had the acting bug. He's not someone who did a play in high school and thought, oh my gosh, I have to do this. But do you see how it is? And you're showing people, your listeners, and hopefully there will be more and more and more, how there isn't just one way to skin a cat.
Yeah. And another way that you've been saying yes is you're the writer and creator of the web series Bougie Dilemma.
Mm-hmm. So what happened was, this was a few years ago, I wrote this a web series, and I wrote 12 pages, and I shot 3 episodes of proof of content to hopefully sell and shop and all of that. So that's how Bougie Dilemma came about. It had its life on Amazon Prime, but I'm hearing that there might be something going on where Amazon has now gotten rid of their web series. So I don't know. We're in limbo with that at this point, at this time. But it served its purpose. I still have it. I still have those stuff that written there, and I may revisit again soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what's
interesting?
I mean, I've reread some of the episodes. I don't want to say the jokes or the gags are dated, but in light of the upheaval our world has just gone through recently, I just wonder if putting that out in the world is even worth it now. That's a legitimate question. Interestingly enough, up until 2019, it would have been a perfectly acceptable storyline. But as an artist, and as I'm getting clearer and clearer about what I want my art to be and look like, I'm begging, it feels like I need something deeper, with more meaning, more impactful. That's the word, more impactful. Perhaps I'm becoming more conscientious, or maybe our time in our lives and our society right now is begging for more from me. So who knows? This isn't to say that, light and fluffy have no space.
Sure.
But I cannot in good conscience settle for that anymore.
Well, and you've seen all these big TV shows have their reboots where they do have to, even in the pilot of the reboot, revisit a lot of the topics that we know the show for back in the day. And they have to deal with it with these old characters in a very new world. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not a great example, but talking about Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, how that show, 9 years now, it's finishing up its final season, has increasingly become political and felt like it had to deal with different topics to suit its audience.
Right.
It's kind of an interesting idea, especially coming from where we're trying to be these content creators, filmmakers as well, like keeping a bead on storytelling and how political it needs to be. And these different shows are finding extremely different ways of balancing out not just political topics, but the health crisis. Coronavirus is going to appear in some of these shows, where some of the shows are going to jump forward in time. Mm-hmm. And some of these shows are going to say, nope, we're right in the thick of it. I think This Is Us has a little bit of a reference to it, but it's not, we're not seeing all the characters in masks quite yet.
The Connors, I saw a couple of episodes the other night on Hulu. They are working at a factory and they are wearing masks, but like the masks are kind of hanging off one ear while they talk to each other, which kind of makes it go, all right, I guess you are kind of acknowledging that it exists, but you see people in the background with their mask on. So it's interesting. They are saying that, yes, this is happening right now. This is modern times. But yeah, we are seeing masks on television now.
Yeah. And how we're learning as content creators, filmmakers, everybody's striking their own balance. We need to strike our own balance. It's not a rule. Just like all the people that we interview, we're finding their different perspectives, their ways through, but they're not rules. They're not things to adhere to necessarily. They're more guidelines or truths of which there is a prism, but we're learning those very brilliant colors from each of those different people. And now these different TV shows where we're trying to create our own TV show, our own content, and push forward with our own vibrant, authentic truth.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I really like that. How are you staying focused and healthy as you move forward? Not just creating content or looking for the next job, but how are you finding your way mentally, emotionally, physically through all of this?
Yeah, I mean, we're still the beginning of the year, right? You know how in the new year people have resolutions and all of that. What I did for myself this year was two things. So I think of my life as a pie, right? And I have my career corner, my friendship corner, my health and fitness corner. So I have different goals for these different sections. And then I overall give myself a word or a theme for this year. And what I have done is I've written 2021. And my word for this year is consistency.
Ooh.
And at the bottom, I've actually written myself a question. How have I been consistent today? So that's what's keeping me sane.
Today.
Because being consistent
Yeah.
keeps me disciplined and focused. I have goals, and in order to accomplish your goals, you have to be consistent. Correct? So my health and fitness goal, cycling. I love cycling. But did I cycle today? How long? I'm learning a new skill. I'm learning how to roller skate all of a sudden. The four wheels, the cutie little roller skates. And was it Einstein that said, well, correct me if I'm wrong, do something for 20 minutes every day. By the end of 365 days, you'll be an expert. You'll have mastered it. Ooh. No, I don't think it was Einstein. Is it Malcolm Gladwell? Oh, Malcolm Gladwell probably said that.
Oh, that's the 10,000 hours?
Yes. So
20 minutes a day that breaks down to. That's really encouraging, actually.
Don't quote me on that, but it probably does. So anyway, no, I'm giving myself like certain things that I have to do on a consistent basis. And by having that note where I see it around my desk area, even if I don't think I've been consistent, I find how have I been consistent the day before? So yeah, that's how I'm keeping sane. What else? Am I doing anything else? No. So just making sure my life is about balance, right? So I know for me to stay mentally sharp and happy and feeling. My natural antidepressant is the going for walks and exercising and just physical activity. Right. I'm fortunate enough that I live in Los Angeles where I can hop in my car and be at the beach in 20 minutes, literally.
Ooh.
So I can go there with my bike or go for a walk there or just go sit and read. I keep a beach chair in my trunk. So I have these spontaneous little private artist dates too, Yeah, that's how I'm keeping myself sane. How are you keeping yourself sane?
Well, enough about me.
No, seriously. What do you do? I'm curious.
Well, the podcast has actually been a really good way for me to reconnect, honestly. I didn't have the podcast for all of last year.
Oh.
Mostly because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anybody else who knows what's going on. Everybody pretends like they do, but do they? Do they even have an authentic perspective on all of this stuff? Because there was just so much political mudslinging that I couldn't find anything, to be perfectly honest. So I sidelined myself. Kind of like what you were talking about with the riots. Like, it's just, It's not.
Be the observer. Sometimes that's all you can do is just be an observer, be a silent observer. Because you learn more by observing and listening than you would if you were just trying to find your message, find something to do. So it'll all crystallize for you out of the blue.
I hope so. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. You're finding that permission and because you said that on the podcast, you're giving other people that permission as well. Like myself. We hold ourselves accountable. We have that weight on our shoulders. Like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing anything. Like, I need to put myself out there because all that is to allow evil in the world is for good man to stand by and do nothing. I'm not sure whose quotation that is, but that kind of rings in my head every now and again. Like, I have to stand up. I have to say something. I have to make action. But this podcast is my little way of doing it. I've found enough courage. And I've found enough people that are finding their way through, that are rolling with the punches, that are able to encourage and motivate and inspire. And that's inspiring me to give that platform back to people like you.
Well, we thank you on behalf of everyone else. I say thank you, Jamie.
Oh, boy. Thanks for listening to the Hollywood Actor Podcast. If you like this content, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.